Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Purple Lunar Rose Tarot and Astrology. Tonight, I'm going to be doing a very special Celtic cross reading for Divine Feminine. We're going to jump into the heart of the matter. So, we're going to see what challenges Divine Feminine collectively could be facing at this time. I am also going to look at how others could be helping or not helping. We'll look at the outcome, of course, and some guidance at the end. Before we start, I do want to talk to you about the Gemini new moon. So, the Gemini new moon is here today. Today is June 6th. We actually have a 5 planet stellium happening in the sign of Gemini. So, we have the moon, Venus, Jupiter, Mercury, and the sun. So all of this energy going on in the beautiful sign of Gemini is a lot happening. Gemini new moon. There's also a Venus cazimi. And if you guys remember me talking about cazimis, that is when a planet looks like it's traveling in front of the sun, and the sun looks like it's just setting that planet ablaze, right? And that's going to be a cazimi. We have that happening with Venus. We also have a square, Saturn square. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that because I feel like it's really important. And then, of course, we also have a trine to Lilith and Pluto. So all of this energy is happening as we have this Gemini new moon. So I want to talk to you just a few do's and don'ts with the Gemini new moon. So the first one, let's start with the fun stuff. So you do want to manifest with this new moon. It's a very powerful new moon, especially for those on this very specific type of spiritual awakening journey, which we call twin flame over here at PLR, right? So I'm going to give you a bay leaf manifestation. These are so easy. I love to do these myself. You just want to get some bay leaves. You can go to your grocery store, wherever you want to get your bay leaves, and you're going to need something to write with. And what you want to do is you want to write, you want to set your intentions, very clear intentions, and you want to write one manifestation per bay leaf. I would say definitely set the mood, right? Light some candles, put some frequency music on. My favorite for manifesting is going to be 432 hertz. Definitely sage everything, right? Sage your bay leaf, sage your marker, sage the radio that's playing your frequency music, right? It's literally sage everything. Once you're done writing your manifestation soon, I want you to save one last bay leaf and keep it just plain. Don't write anything on it. I want you to read the manifestations that you wrote down on your bay leaves. I want you to read them out loud once you wrote them down. And you want to visualize yourself with the manifestation. So let's say, for example, you're trying to manifest a new car, you're trying to manifest a new man, right? I want you to visualize you picking up your new man in your new car, right? And I want you to feel what that would feel like, because the feelings part is what gets you the manifestation. You actually have to feel the feeling, right? And on that last bay leaf, I want you to put I am, and then the identity that of this person that gets these manifestations. I want you to give yourself a nickname. So on mine, I did mine says, I am Rosa 3.0, and I'm so very grateful for my journey. So I want you to write your new identity name on this bay leaf and one thing that you're grateful for on that last bay leaf. And I promise you, those manifestations will come true. All right, so here's what you don't do. Because we have the Venus cazimi happening, you want to watch out for exes trying to reach out to you, old toxic partners that you have pulled your energy away from, trying to reach out for you. It's real easy. Don't do it. Just don't answer. Ignore it. Know your worth, right? Know your worth. You've come so far in your spiritual awakening journey. So just remember that, and don't answer those calls, right? I don't think that we should ignore the Saturn square. I said I was going to talk a little bit more about it. And it is happening at the same time. So Saturn square, remember Saturn is the rule planet, or like ruling planet of the cosmos, makes the rules, right? And then A square means that there's something challenging happening, right? So I want to say don't ignore the Saturn square at the same time, because this energy is really about making us work for it. So don't ignore that, because in order for you to get the things you want, you're definitely going to have to put some work into it, right? All right, guys, so that's what I wanted to talk to you about, Gemini new moon tonight. It is on the 6-6 portal. I know I didn't talk too much about the portal. I get so sick of people and like their ignorance about numerology, right? Like if I hear one more person tell me that 666 means the devil, like I'm probably just gonna puke. um, so sixes is actually harmony. It's harmony. So this is energy. This portal energy is all about finding balance and harmony and acceptance with the changes that have happened in our and your life now, right? All right, so I see everyone coming in. Guys, don't forget, we are multi-streaming. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch all at the same time. I see Michelle over on Facebook, Vanessa. Diana was the first one in with her pink wavy hands. Hello, Diana. Oh, Miss L. Hi, Miss L. I have a couple special friends joining me, other than you guys already, right? Joining me tonight. So I imagine they will be coming in soon. I feel like I have some friends that are dealing with some pretty um, emotional, impactful life changes at this time. And that's not really surprising, because remember, we just had that Aries new moon solar eclipse. So it's definitely all about like wiping the slate clean and manifesting that the life that you want from here on out. And that's really what's happening to a lot of us. And some of us, it's happening in a very easy way. In other words, like we created the things that are coming in and we manifested the things that are coming in because we went through spiritual awakening, we went through dark night of the soul, right? And some people are still in dark night of the soul and still experiencing this energy. So it's very emotional, just life changing, right? So I don't know, just everyone, we all need to be kind and loving, sending unconditional love to everyone at this time. But yes, guys, I just wanted you to know that I know we're all dealing with these challenges. The thing about life is that we would be dealing with these challenges whether we had our awakening or not, right? Like we see people that are not awake all the time. And it's like life is happening to you, right? And it's like when you wake up, you're able to implement what you've learned in your spiritual awakening, and then you kind of create the life that you want. It doesn't mean that challenges won't arise, right? It just means that you'll be able to handle them better. All right, so I haven't seen Sandra yet. I could be wrong, but I haven't seen her yet. These cards that I'm going to use tonight are called the Divine Feminine Oracle, and they were gifted to me by Sandra. All right, so I'm going to start out Heart of the Matter, Divine Feminine Celtic Cross. And I may offer some free readings. In fact, I already know that I'm going to. So if you guys want to hang out till the end, yeah. All right, so Heart of the Matter flips out. We have Fatima, the mother of almonds. It says, love is my lineage and gratitude is my religion. There's something about the word lineage that's sticking out. It's really interesting because I feel like I get this energy for Divine Masculine a lot. We're definitely very focused on Divine Feminine tonight. But I get the energy of like legacy, what legacy we're leaving for others. Gratitude is my religion. We just talked about that with the Gemini new moon. Anytime you're manifesting, you want to be in gratitude. Really, every single waking moment of your life, you want to be in gratitude. That's how, that's a trick. I mean, that's a little trick for you guys. So if you're ever in low vibrational energy, let me see if I can go find my little Hawking's funnel that I love so much. I see it. Thank you. So if you're ever down there feeling that fear, grief, apathy, guilt, shame, right? These are our emotions measured by hertz, right? So at the bottom of the funnel, you'll see those lower vibrational, lower frequency emotions. And so if you ever want to climb up, I used to say all the time, you have to find pride, you have to find courage, willingness, acceptance, and that's how you move up, right? But one of the easiest ways to do this is gratitude. One of the easiest ways to do this. So if I'm feeling the desire, fear, grief, apathy, guilt, shame, I can suddenly, I mean, immediately start talking and speaking out the things that I'm grateful for in my life, in my journey, in my present moment, and my frequency, will start to rise immediately. So if you guys ever find yourself in lower vibrational energy, that could be a good trick to try. Hi, Victoria. All right, so let's see. What I'm getting from this card really is that Divine Feminine is just very much in her spiritual awakening journey, focusing on her connection with spirit. And I do feel like it has something to do with legacy, like something that you're leaving behind, something that you're known for. All right, let's see what's crossing Divine Feminine. So I'm not going to say some of these names right, so just bear with me. But I have Parvati, the goddess of devotion. I'm a love that doesn't leave. Ooh, that's going to be, that's going to hit some nails right there for a lot of us, right? When I commit to love, my soul evolves. So that is going to be the challenge. That's what's challenging us. I feel like this could be about our commitment to our journey. And remember, we're here because we're all having a spiritual awakening journey, right? That's why we're watching this stuff. That's why we're trying to learn these things, right? And we have different types of spiritual awakening journey. So, you know, I've talked about it, several different types and different kinds, and how twin flames is just a label. It's just a type of spiritual awakening journey. I am kind of getting here that there's something about the commitment to your journey or the commitment to the spiritual path that you're on. And here's where I'm going to say I can feel the confusion, like I can almost see it right now. A lot of times we get so confused on this specific type of spiritual awakening journey because we are focused on the person, right? The person that catapulted the awakening. And we think that it's supposed to be about that person, especially if we watch some of these tarot readers that give you those, you know, sugar coated, you know, fairy tale donuts that just sound delicious. And it's like, oh, you're going to get married one day and everything's going to be great. So you start to focus on the person and what it is that they're doing, right? And you don't do any of your own healing work. I think once we realize that it's about the purpose, like once we understand it's about the purpose and not the person, I think that's really when we almost, like for me in my journey, I felt like when I got to this point, it was almost like a recommitment. It was almost like spirit said, okay, now that you know, now that you know, you're clear, you have understanding, do you still want to do this path? Do you still want to do this journey? And I know I say that like a recommitment, like spirit asked me, but here's what I know, guys. I had this spiritual awakening journey, which means that I had a breakdown, right? Like in my life, I had a complete breakdown where I felt like I just could not do life anymore, right? And some people experience that in many, many different ways. Some people it's drugs, right? Drugs can cause a spiritual awakening journey. Some people it's trauma, like a bad car accident, right? Could cause a spiritual awakening journey. And some of us, it's a person. Someone catapulted this awakening for me, right? Which just means they came into my life and shook it to such an extreme level that everything crumbled and I had to rebuild everything, right? It's probably the easiest way that I can say that. But I feel like when these things happen, we experience dark night of the soul. And it's when we're in that dark night of the soul that we kind of make this decision. Do we want to stay in the dark, right? And you see those people all the time, right? Those lower vibrational people, negative, miserable people all the time. Or do we want to do we want to heal and go towards the light? When we decide to heal and go towards the light, okay, that's like we've signed, now we've made a new commitment, now we've signed a new contract. That's our free will, by the way, because we can definitely go off and continue to be miserable. That is an option. Like God's not going to force us to heal and become better people and have better lives. So the free will comes in when you're in dark night of the soul and you choose whether you want to stay focused on your misery or you want to get out of that misery. Most of us here wanted to get out of that misery, and God reached down and pulled us out, right? So when this happens, it's like all of a sudden now we're in God's army, right? It's like we don't get saved out of no cost. There's a cost. And I know I'm probably stepping on toes because there's some really religious people that are so, like they believe things that are written 100% and they don't do any research to go see if there's anything else, right? But what I'm trying to say is that once God saves you, now you have to follow God's purpose. And God is nothing but pure love. That's it. That's it. I know like some places, some religions, it's like God is bad or evil or mean or whatever. God is love. Like that's literally it. So it's like you have to go and spread unconditional love. You have to be kind, you have to be loving, you have to be just, you have to be merciful. You have to, whatever your purpose is, it's going to help other people climb out of those same fires that God helped you climb out of. Right? Like that's your purpose. So if you're sitting there and you're like, Rosa, I don't know what my purpose is. Okay, well, how did God save you? What did God save you from? Right? Did you lose a child? Did you lose a parent? Did you experience a traumatic car accident? Did you lose a limb? Did you experience a fire where everything burned down? You see what I'm saying? Somewhere along the way, something happened to you where God saved you from that. And that's going to be your purpose. That's what you're going to do to help other people. Now, we're all going to do it in a different way. I love to read tarot and make pretty things, right? So that's what we do here at PLR. But it's like you're all going to have something you have to do. And I want to say that we have free will. I could be like, you know what, God, I don't want to do PLR anymore. I actually had a conversation with counterpart energy not too long ago where I was like, I feel like I can't quit. I feel like it's not allowed. Like, I feel like there's been several times where I've just wanted to walk away, move to Canada, change my name, and nobody knows who Rosa is, and just start completely over, right? It's not allowed. It's not allowed. You know why? Because God saved me, and now God has a plan for me and a job for me, and I have to fulfill that promise. I have to fulfill that job. I have to fulfill that purpose, right? So I do feel like there's times where it's not necessarily a recommitment, but it's almost a reminder of why we're here, what we're doing here, and what we have to do to continue forward on this journey. And I feel like that is probably what's happening to us collectively. We're all getting these reminders of what Spirit did for us, and now what we need to commit to, what we need to do for others, right? All right, let's look at the highest expectation in the matter for divine feminine. What is it that you're expecting will happen? So I have Lakshmi, the goddess of abundance. I choose to feel abundant. Wealth is an inside job. It's pretty interesting because I'm definitely picking up some materialistic energy here. It's almost like you believe that if you follow purpose, then the spirit will, I don't know, money will fall out of the sky. I can be first to tell you that that is not how it works, right? It's not how it happens. Have I went hungry? No. Have I been cold? No. Have I not had the basic needs that I need to live comfortably? Yes, I've had everything that I need. But I had to go back to work this summer, right? Because PLR, even though it's a growing, thriving business, which is beautiful and I'm so very grateful for, we're still very small and we're still growing. So it definitely, I had to supplement my income, right? Last winter was really rough for me, and I just decided right then and there that I would never be in that position. Like ever again. So I'm now in the process of saving for this coming winter and have plans on how I will do this again next year so that, again, this doesn't happen to me and I can give PLR a couple more years to grow, right? But I feel like for some of you, it's not about like, I think if I follow my purpose, money is going to come in. I think for some of you, it was, I think if I follow my purpose or if I do better at following my purpose, then more will come to me. And that's very possible, as long as you're not looking at the materialistic side of it, as long as you're not looking at dollar bills, right? As long as you realize that if you help someone, God is going to gift you with something. Is it possible that it'll be money? I mean, yes, it's possible, but it's not always, right? One thing that I'm noticing on my journey is a lot of times when I'm manifesting, like when I, like the bay leaf manifestation that I was just talking about, and tell me in the comments if this happens to you guys too, but a lot of times when I'm manifesting, I will see the manifestation come through in someone's life around, like my children, my sons, my grandchildren, my friends, my family. You know what I'm trying to say? And I can see that manifestation come in for them. And for me, that's just as good, right? Because I know that I've manifested this thing in, and now it's not only just helping me, but it's helping someone else too. All right. Let's look at energy that's coming into being that you don't know yet. For divine feminine, energy that's coming into being that you don't know yet. Ooh. All right, so we have Lolita, the red goddess. Playfulness is a spiritual power. Laughter leads me back to the light. And the part that's sticking out to me is the part where it says laughter leads me back to the light. So like I said earlier, like I know that we're all going through some pretty big life changes right now. I mean, extreme life changes. We're moving to places, you know, we thought we'd never move to. We're leaving jobs we thought we'd never leave. We're just doing these big changes in our life, again, due to that Aries solar eclipse that we experienced, that it's been challenging and painful. And I feel like we've probably not experienced a lot of laughter, right? Like I don't feel like the energy has been playful or light at all. I feel like it's actually been very heavy, and it's like we're having to trudge through something, something murky and dark and heavy, right? I always do feel supported and empowered. Like I know I'm part of this army. I know I'm not out here trudging through this alone. But to see that lighter, more playful energy is coming into play definitely makes me feel better, right? All right, let's look and see what the past energy is. And this is going to be energy that's completely finished, completely past. And then I'm going to stop there, and we're going to clarify with the elemental wisdom, also gifted to me by Sandra. And then we'll do the other half. Jenna, hello. Victoria, hello. All right, past energy, 2 cards flies out, which is pretty interesting because I remember doing masculine Celtic cross, and for the past energy, 2 cards came out. How interesting. Rachel, hi Rachel. All right, so we have Pope Joan and this one, which I'm totally not going to be able to say. Varayagoni, the essence of all Buddhas. So this one says, I have the power to make each moment sacred. Everything is material for my liberation. I love that. The possibilities are limitless because the soul is limitless. So your disbelief is what has passed, right? Your questioning, am I on this journey? Am I powerful? Does spirit really reside inside of me? Right? All of that is gone because now you're confident in the journey that you're on. On the bottom, I see the Black Madonna, Our Lady of the Hermits. I transform pain and suffering into a greater capacity to love. And that's exactly what we're doing, like literally right now, right? elemental wisdom. And I'm going to start with the Fatima. There's so many synchronicities in these cards to my own journey. I'm going to tell you some. So Fatima, okay, so I don't know if you guys remember me talking about my childhood when we first started PLR, but I talked about how my mom would change our name. And one of the times that she changed religion and husbands and changed our name, my name was actually Samina at one time. And I have another sister, and her name was Fahima. And then my other sister, her name was Nasima. So it was like all our names were very similar, right? And one of the names that we were choosing through was Fatima. Like that could have been my name. And I didn't want the name because it was spelled Fatimah. And I was like, I don't want it to be called Fat. Like, I don't want that to be my nickname. so that's going to be a synchronicity to my own journey. The Lakshmi card that you see, the goddess of abundance. My mom used to have a friend named Lakshmi. And when I was younger, I actually couldn't say her name. You know how kids like try to say people's names, but like they don't say it right, and then that person gets nicknamed whatever that is. You know what I'm talking about? So her name was Lakshmi, and I couldn't, 8, 9 years old, I couldn't say her name. So I called her lunch meat. I know, right? Lunch meat. And so then my mom started calling her lunch meat. So yeah, it was like a whole thing. But anyway, I just wanted to point those out. All right, so let's look at the Fatima card. Love is my lineage and gratitude is my religion. I think right now we're struggling to find gratitude in our journey. It's happening to Divine Masculine as well. And it is just because of the struggles that we've went through. And maybe some of us feel like the abundance is not quite what we expected it to be, right? So we have a Tower coming out, Mars energy. So you're having trouble with your divine counterpart. This is so true in my own journey. But it's so you're not only having trouble with divine counterpart, but there's a Tower moment that you're experiencing. And I know this because the Tower is masculine. I mean, Mars is masculine energy. So it's like your feminine energy. You are worried about legacy, what people will say, what people will think, what will be left behind. But I feel like the biggest problem or the biggest issue is going to be your divine counterpart, the masculine. Something's happened. A lot of times when we experience Tower moments, it's not like people are like, oh, it's a surprise. Is it really though? It's like, was it a surprise or did we see this coming for years and years, right? So I do feel like this sense of something's happened that needed to happen, but we are experiencing it as a Tower moment. We also have the Three of Wands coming out. The Three of Wands is about taking action for your future, but I will say it was trying to come out in reverse. So it's almost like this divine masculine could be, I almost said the word derailing, but that's not really what I'm looking for. Distracting you from the actions that you need to be taking at this time. The Chariot is the ride or die partner. The Chariot is kind of a clue card for me when I think about divine counterpart energy, because for the most part, we are ride or die partners, right? And the Chariot is like, don't be afraid to move quickly. So I feel like right now, let me tell you what I'm experiencing in my own journey, and then you guys tell me if you're kind of experiencing this too. So right now, I'm at the point, I've already knew that like it wasn't the fairy tale everyone tells us, right? Like I already had that part down. And I was already taking action towards my future. But because there has been such a shakeup with my counterpart energy, I do feel like the action I'm taking has slowed down. And really it's just because I don't know like what the next step should be. But Spirit says that I should have faith and move quickly. I heard the word catch up. Like, in other words, I should keep moving and know that someone or something will catch up. All right, so let's look at the energy that was crossing. The goddess of devotion. How committed are you to your spiritual awakening journey? I hear people say this to me from time to time. They're like, Rosa, I don't know if I'm even on the twin flame journey anymore. I'm like, really? How did you get off? Did you unawaken? Did you go back to sleep? You know what I mean? Like, how do you stop your awakening? See, again, it's because the person thinks that their twin flame journey is watching that person that woke them up, right? And waiting for that person to do whatever it is that that person's going to do. It's clearly not. It's about your own awakening. So can you stop your own awakening? Like, no, it's going to keep going, right? But it's definitely this energy of what is the commitment? What is your commitment to your awakening? And is it changing? Are you going from being committed to the person to now being committed to the experience, to the awakening, right? All right, so we have the Four of Swords coming out. The Four of Swords is about healing. We have the Five of Swords. It does talk about a great loss. And we have the King of Cups, big confirmation because King of Cups is my blue card for Divine Masculine. Four of Swords, blessing in disguise. Blessing in disguise. Five of Swords does talk about, look at the snake in the Five of Swords. It does talk about some disagreements and battles and arguments. So again, I feel like there's been some issue with you and counterpart energy, big confirmation with King of Cups. There could have been some words exchanged, or maybe there's not being words exchanged, and that's the problem. But I think for the most of you, there has been some words exchanged. It's so interesting too. Like, for those of you that know me personally and like know my personal journey, it's like hitting the nail on the head, right? All right, so let's look at Lakshmi and let's see the goddess of abundance. This is your highest expectation of the matter. Ooh, 3 cards come out. We have 8 of Wands, sudden changes and quick information. We have 8 of Coins, dedication and focus. And we have the Lovers. So for some of you, this could be about the counterpart energy, Gemini energy, or the twin flame journey. For me, the Lovers card is a clue card for the twin flame journey. So I feel like this is just confirmation. I think you're realizing that, again, it's not about the person, it's about the purpose. And the more you align with that purpose, the more you dedicate and focus on that energy, the more you align to it, the more abundance comes in for you, right? All right, Lolita, the red goddess. Laughter leads me back to the light. That's where spirit wants us to focus. This is a big message that I'm getting here. This is energy that's coming into being that we don't know yet. So it's like something's coming in where things are going to start to feel lighter. Some of the weight gets off of your shoulders, right? And so I feel like the message here is spirit's asking you to have gratitude in those moments. Not just have gratitude, but like be present and experience them, because things have been so hard. It's like spirit wants you to have these moments of joy, happiness. Almost like it's just like spirit just wants you to feel lighter. Like things aren't so heavy. All right, so I have 6 of Cups. That's for union energy. So for those of you going through separation, this is definitely confirmation from spirit. We have 2 of Wands, which I always say is like expectations, right? And then we have the 9 of Wands, and it was coming out in reverse. 9 of Wands is like being stubborn. So it is this confirmation. Like, yes, could you be dealing with some divine masculine issue right now? Could there have been some words exchanged? And for some of you, this could be like 5D also. Normally, we don't have these types of like disagreements in the 5D. But if like one person is trying to stay in the 3D and the other person is only trying to be in the 5D, definitely could be some, I don't know what the word is. I'm trying to think of polarity. Like it's not the same. It's almost like you're repelling each other instead of coming together. When you're in the 5D, it's more about union. It's more about harmony. It's more about peace, that type of energy. So I'm definitely picking up like there could have been, I'm getting like just strong disagreements. And for some of you, it could have been like verbally expressed. For some of you, the lack of communication is what's caused this pain. The energy is coming into being, spirit saying like be lighter, like reunion is always, you're always in union for one. I'm one of those people, like, remember, I'm on this journey. I've had this experience, like this happened to me, right? So I always say, like, we're always in union. We came into this lifetime in union. We will leave this lifetime in union. Like, you're not a half a soul walking around. You're not a split soul. There's not somebody that has like another half of you. You're a whole soul. And when we have a twin flame awakening or twin flame journey and we experience our soul in someone else, that's a simultaneous incarnation of our soul. It just means you're here 2 times, right? So I've always said you're always in union. And that's kind of the energy that I'm getting from spirit here. It's almost like expect something to happen, especially if they've been very stubborn or you've been stubborn. It's like expect reunion to happen. All right, everything is material for my liberation. I have power to make each moment sacred. With these cards, I felt this energy like you weren't sure of who you are, or you weren't sure of what powers you hold, or you weren't sure of what you were capable of. So I feel like that's the energy that is past. The Knight of Cups literally just flew out of there. The Knight of Cups is someone who is courageous enough to deliver a message. Remember, all the knights deliver messages. They want to communicate, and it's always about the element. So let's say it's swords. Swords would be about liberation, freedom, the mind, right? Cups are more emotions, heart, feelings. So it's like in the past, you were recently able to express to someone or like be courageous and tell someone how it is that you feel. 2 of Coins is here. The infinity sign is what's sticking out to me. And then big confirmation with the Ace of Swords, new communication. You were recently able to say something new. For some of you, if you're in no contact and there's not been any communication, because I am feeling some of that here, this is like new clarity and new understanding. On the bottom, I have the 9 of Swords. The 9 of Swords is about anxiety, depression, not able to process the traumas. I feel like that's what happened, right? We suffered a lot of anxiety and depression, and we struggled to be able to process the traumas. And as we worked through our spiritual awakening journey, we started to implement what we learned, and that's how we started to process those traumas, right? I feel like I hardly deal with anxiety at all anymore. And I feel so weird saying that because I know there's people that don't believe me. They're like, oh my God, everybody has anxiety. And I used to believe that. But honestly, you know, I had a friend of mine that was having me listen to this like motivational speaker. I can't remember what his name was, but it was amazing, amazing message. But at the beginning of the message, it was all of this like victim consciousness type of stuff. And I was like, man, why is this out here? Like, why are people having to listen to this? And it was all this stuff like, you know, my parents did drugs and they died and they left me home alone. And, you know, we had no food and I never saw a doctor and my childhood sucked and my dog died. And it was like all this stuff, right? And I was like, okay, I get it. Life was hard, but life's hard for everyone. Like all our dogs pass away. All of our parents weren't the greatest. All of it, you see what I'm saying? So I'm like, get to the point in this message. And then, of course, at the end, he gets to the point. He starts talking about how God picked him up, how he surrendered, how he reached out and allowed God to, you know, take him where he needed to go, and how much faith, you know, and how his faith has grown in God and source and spirit, whatever label you got to put there. But you see what I'm saying? And it was like, that's the facts of the situation. Like, that's what happened to me. My faith grew. There was so much that had happened in my twin flame journey that my faith grew so strong. I don't suffer from anxiety. I just don't. I don't know. Do I have fears? Okay, so at work today. On Thursdays, I feel like it's adventure day. Last Thursday, I got to take Amelia and we got to clean out the kiddie pool, and I got paid to swim in a pool all day. It was so much fun. So this Thursday, I got to get in the fishing boat and go out to our blow up water park thing that we have out there. And one of our floats were down, so it had to be re-aired, right? So I got to go out in the fishing boat and venture out there and do that. I went very slow, very slow on the boat when I first got out there. And then I don't know, the more I did it, like the quicker it picks up. But I feel like, I don't know, I get to do something different every day, all the time with that job. I don't even know why I brought that story up. I guess I just wanted to tell you I got to do the fishing boat today. All right, future energies. So Inanna, the queen of heaven and earth, I have nothing to hide and I see and accept all that I am. That's future energies. That's what you're working towards, right? And I definitely got that. I can so relate to the whole I have nothing to hide situation. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that without getting too personal. I think it's more about understanding, one, there's no fault in this journey, right? Like there's no fault. There's no person that was like out to get another person. There's nobody that was like out to make somebody miserable or make somebody experience this pain, right? Like this just happened, right? But there is more of this energy of understanding who you are, again, how powerful you are, what you're capable of. And I'm hearing the phrase, something about moving mountains. So it's like somebody out there, you feel like you're facing this mountain and it's like it doesn't budge or it's too big or you can't climb it, something. And Spirit's definitely saying like you're so powerful, you can move mountains. All right, let's look and see how others around you are affecting the situation. And remember, the situation was legacy. What are you leaving behind? And understanding who you are. What is it that you believe in yourself? So I cannot pronounce this one. Lady of the Lotus born. It says embodiment is the deepest bliss. My body was made for enlightenment. So how others around you are affecting you. Everybody's waking up, right? Everybody's waking up. Do you guys feel that? Do you guys feel like people, like for those of us that have been on an awakening journey for a period of time, it's like people are starting to reach out and be like, hey, Rosa, tell me some more about this Lulu Lala stuff you got going on. Right? And I don't know about you guys, but I started my awakening journey in 2015 unknowingly, right? It wasn't until about 2017, 2018 when I started to realize, hey, something's going on here. And then 2018, I went into dark night of the soul until just very recently, actually. So I feel like people are, at the beginning, I didn't talk too much about my spiritual awakening journey, right? Like I was embarrassed and I was like, people are gonna think I'm crazy. I don't want them to know all this stuff. And then, as Spirit had me create PLR and come out here and start telling everybody about my awakening and my journey, it definitely got to be easier for me. And it does seem that as I go further and further, it's like there's more and more people that are awakening, and there's more and more people that are desperate for answers, right? Like reaching out, wanting to know what is happening to me. Why am I experiencing this? So yeah, I don't know. I feel like there could be a lot of people around you that are experiencing spiritual awakening. Maybe not twin flame, right? I feel like there's this misunderstanding that everyone thinks that because we all have divine feminine and masculine energy, that we're all a twin flame. And that's not true. Is it true that we all have divine masculine and divine feminine energies? Yes. And I even have a little thing that I can show you about that, where I have split up the two energies so you can kind of get some examples of each, right? So you'll see there on the left side of your screen, that's going to be more feminine energy, and masculine energy is going to be on your right. I always say feminine energy is what makes you wash your hair, and masculine energy is what makes you lock your doors. So we all have these types of energies, right? But does that mean that we are all a twin flame on a twin flame, a spiritual awakening journey? No, it does not. Now, if you're on an awakening journey, the goal is to balance your feminine and masculine energy. That is the goal. When you're on a twin flame spiritual awakening journey, the goal is still to balance your own inner feminine and masculine energy. But if there is a counterpart, if there is a person who has awakened you, will you be able to see those energies balance out as well as you move through your awakening? Yes, absolutely, 100%. Now, of course, everyone at their own speed, right? I see someone new. Belinda. Belinda, hello. Belinda says, everyone is waking up. It's time, love. It's so true. It's so true. I love that. All right. Let's look and see how you, Divine Feminine, are affecting the situation. The cosmic egg comes out, one of my favorite cards in this oracle set. It is the divine feminine card. I'm just saying, big confirmations how much the spirit loves me, right? It says, I hold the universe within me. I am the force of an ever expanding love. So how you are affecting the situation, it's almost like you're this egg. It's almost like you're giving birth to your new self, to your future self, to the empowered you, right? So before you're awakened, you're not very empowered. Our self-worth is very low. We don't see our value. We walk around with masks and disguises, right? And it's like once we awaken, we start to see our worth. You're past that. You're at the point where you know your worth, and it's almost like now because you know who you are, you know what you're capable of. It's like you're birthing this new life. You're bringing this new creation into being. All right, let's look at hopes and fears. All right, so hopes and fears to come out. Anadame Ma. I feel like I said that so wrong. The joy permeated mother. I am my own guru. I know the self that never changes. And Rita of Cassia, the patroness of impossible causes. I am miraculous. My prayer creates powerful channels of possibilities. I feel like you are in fear that something will never change, that miracles are not possible. It's almost like your hope is, God, show me that this miracle is possible. And your miracle that you're asking for is directly connected to your divine masculine. Whether you're asking for communication, for me personally, in my journey, I'm asking for my divine masculine to heal. A lot of you are seeing maybe for the first time just how painful this journey is from your counterpart's eyes. It's like, I think at first for Divine Feminine, we thought that it was just us experiencing the challenges and the pain, right? And we thought that Divine Masculine was just out there in their Knight of Cups energy, just out having a good time, giving it away for free for all, right? And that wasn't actually the case, was it? They were actually also experiencing some pretty painful experiences, some pretty emotional disturbances, right, in their own lives. And I think right now we're all to the point where we see that. I think at first, a lot of us too, Divine Feminines, we didn't want to see it. Like we didn't want to believe. Like it was almost like it was okay for us to experience the pain, but we didn't want anyone else to experience that pain. It was almost like it was okay for us to have this awakening and have to learn to be better humans, right? But we didn't want other people to have to go through that particular thing. I think that's why we enabled the divine masculine energy for as long as we did, right? It's almost like we wanted to do the work for them. So we're definitely at this point now in our journey where we realize we can't enable anymore. It's just not allowed. But not only can we not enable, we have to step back now. We have to have faith in our counterpart energy, that this energy will heal, that this energy will find the light, that this energy will wake the F up, right? All right, I'm going to pull the outcome card, but I'm going to leave it face down and we will look at it after I have clarified these other cards. Jenna says, I have these little rubber chickens that you squeeze and they pop an egg out. Oh my goodness. All right, the Queen of Heaven and Earth. This is you understanding who you are. This is empowerment energy is what I'm feeling. The Emperor, big confirmations. Look how much Spirit loves me. Aries energy. This is about what has happened. This is the growth, what has happened from that Aries solar eclipse. So you're much more empowered now or soon to be, right, than you were when that Aries solar eclipse energy happened. We also have Eight of Cups. It's going to be because you surrendered, you walked away from something, you started walking towards your Two of Cups, right? And the Moon comes out. The Moon is illusion and fear. So it's like overcome the fear by growing your faith, right? That's definitely going to be key there. Are you going to feel empowered when you're able to leave the fear behind you? Yes, absolutely. Is this Gemini new moon going to help you do that? Yes, absolutely. All right, the Lady of Lotus born. Embodiment is the deepest bliss. My body was made for enlightenment. Definitely picking up these energies of people around you awakening. People supporting you, encouraging you, maybe asking you questions, maybe asking you for help. We have Ace of Coins, new opportunity, Queen of Wands, be confident in yourself, and Justice is here. This is Libra energy, so you could be dealing with a Libra here, and if that's the case, be confident that this new beginning will come. But this is also telling me that some great injustice has been done. So if these are people around you that are awakening, that there's been a great injustice in each one of their lives, right? Each one of their awakening process. So it's very possible that you're helping them become confident and able to make or manifest their new beginnings also. But I feel like it's helping you become confident in what it is that you're supposed to be doing here, because most likely you're this energy and you're supposed to be like the fighter for truth. You're supposed to be like the fighter to make the things fair, to make the things balanced. All right, how you are affecting the situation. We got the cosmic egg card, and I did get this feeling like you are creating something, birthing something. I feel like it's the new you type of energy. We have the sun coming out, so that's going to be big confirmation because that's like the I am, the sun, right? I also have Five of Cups, the Magician, and Wheel of Fortune. Five of Cups is a little bit off with these three major arcana. Like it almost fell out and maybe shouldn't have, but I think this is the why. This is the why. Five of Cups is that card that I almost can't touch it. Like there's something about the energy on the Five of Cups. You can almost feel the despair. You can feel the pain, the loss, the grieving with that card. The Sun is empowerment. The I am. It's almost like Emperor energy here. Wheel of Fortune just says this is time. Like now is the time. And the Magician is about working with all of the elements and again creation. So big confirmation, because I said the egg is like you're birthing something. The Magician is like you're bringing it into existence, right? As above, so below type of energy. The Five of Cups talks about, did you experience a loss? Yes, absolutely. But it talks about how you're supposed to look at the 2 cups that you have left. There's something positive that came out of that outcome. You're supposed to look up and see that there's a future ahead of you. We also have the 6 of Wands, which is a victory, and the 4 of Coins, which is about releasing something that you've held on to too tightly. So I feel like hopes and fear is there's definitely some fears going on with this divine masculine, your counterpart. I feel like you're praying for miracles. For me, again, it's like their own healing, right? And that's going to be that 5 of Cups is going to go there. Big confirmation there. 6 of Wands says, will they be victorious? Yes, the victory comes when we release that energy, when we allow something to flow. So if it's you, are you the 4 of Coins? Are you holding on to your counterpart energy so strictly because you don't have faith in this journey that you're not allowing it to awaken? You're not allowing it to grow. You're not allowing it to flow, right? That could definitely be the message there. All right, let's look at the outcome for Divine Feminine. We have the Bridget card, the Goddess of Eternal Flame. That's us, guys. That's our journey. It says, I am an internal flame, and each day my light grows brighter. That is the outcome from Spirit. We have King of Swords, authenticity, vulnerability, new communication, new understanding. It's also a card that speaks about mentorship. Now, I know that the King of Cups, I always say counselor, mentor, therapist, and now coach, right? But I'm also getting like mentorship with that King of Swords. 7 of Cups is here. It's about new, clear options. And 7 of Wands is here. And 7 of Wands is about protecting your energy and not giving up. All right, I'm going to pull a guidance card. I'm going to use Queen of the Moon. I think right now, a lot of us could be stuck when it comes to following our purpose, because people don't realize that when you start following your purpose, how much authenticity that requires. And when you're authentic, in other words, when you're your true self, when you wear no mask, when you don't care what people think, right? Because it's only your only person or only thing you should care about is what God thinks, what source wants from you, right? When you get that far, I don't know, it's just easier. It's just easier. It should be the only thing that we're worried about. All right, so I pulled Queen of the Moon because we do have this Gemini new moon. Look at this, new moon, big confirmation. New moon, new beginnings, and the pleasure card. I feel like that spirit saying, yes, it's been challenging. Yes, you've went through an ordeal, but by releasing this counterpart energy, by understanding that it's not your job to fix it, by understanding that you were only enabling by holding on to that energy so tightly, by releasing it and allowing it to go heal, it's like new beginnings are here. You've chosen a new path. And the pleasure card talks about being able to release old stagnant energy so that you can be filled with good, positive, new energy. It's almost this energy like we weren't able to feel pleasure before because we were doing all of this enabling. And it's like now we'll be allowed to feel these, like remove that energy and fill that space with joy and happiness and brighter, lighter energy, right? All right. So that's it, guys. I hope that Divine Feminine Celtic cross reading was helpful. I'm going to clean up really quickly, and I am going to offer some card pulls from Queen of the Moon because we do have that Gemini new moon here. And I'm just going to give you guys a pretty video to watch while I clean up. Eternal Flame, my tricky ceiling fan light turned off by itself last night. Left me in the dark. I thought power went out. Ooh. Is Rachel wanting to do some Queen of the Moon? All right. Guys, I will be back Sunday night. I'm going to try to stick with that Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday schedule. So Sunday night, we'll be back to do the love and astrology, and I will read for the collective for the week. And then Tuesday night, we will do Divine Masculine Celtic Cross again and see what's happening next week with Divine Masculine. And Thursday, we'll be back with Divine Feminine. Ooh, Rachel, I just seen the Hot Moon Extremes card. It's that card that says don't let your emotions control how you react to something. I don't know why I said Rachel. Apparently that was for Rachel. All right, let me see. All right, so we're going to do Rachel first. Oh, yes, guys. Please be sure to hit all of those nice buttons for me. I know I forget to ask from time to time. All right, Rachel and Jenna, and I see Vanessa on Facebook. All right, so let's do those three. All right, Rachel, Gemini, new moon, protection. Look at the protection card. Oh, Rachel. It's not an egg in the basket. It's not a baby in the basket. It's a whole grown woman folded in the fetal position in the basket. I mean, I do see the red cardinal, so this could be a message from passed on loved ones saying that you're protected, but I'm not getting that. I'm getting like a flock of ancestors. You know what I mean? Like this is a whole bunch of them. This isn't just one bird carrying this basket. Ooh, ooh. I dropped two of them. And they seem very direct. Oh, yes. Now you're in trouble. All right, Rachel. So this was the good message, and now this is the you're in trouble message. We have surrender, focus, and resistance. You're highly protected, so you should be able to do these things. But because you're worried about protection, maybe to some experiences that you've recently had, it's hard for you to surrender. You could even feel like it's hard for you to receive messages from spirit, but it's because you're holding on to something painful and spirit's asking you to release that energy. It's almost like this energy of lay it at my feet. It's like a Bible verse where they say we like lay our burdens at God's feet. It's something like that. All right, I'm gonna leave it there. I hope that was helpful. All right, Jenna on YouTube. Jenna, say hi to me. I see you. I see you. All right, there's Jenna. Jenna, we have a long night moon, the darkness. We have, I already know what it is before I can get the cards out. Purity and beginnings. And then there's that hot moon extreme. It's a little bit different for you, Jenna. It's not about letting your emotions control your reaction. It's about getting excited and passionate about something. You've been here, long night moon, darkness. It's that card that shows the one rabbit on the side of on the one path, on the one side of the path. I will get some English out. But it's also the card where I always say it feels uneven, like it's not balanced. Like I've always expected there to be another rabbit over here so we can make an equal path and go down this scary path together, right? For me, a lot of times when I get that card, it's like that dark night of the moon. I mean, dark night of the soul, when we're in that part where we realize that the counterpart isn't going to come save us, right? It's like when we're in that moment where we realize, oh man, I got to face this thing and I got to face it on my own. That's where you've been. So it's like as you're moving out of that, what happens? Because there's been so much growth, because you're able to cleanse, purify, give yourself this clean slate, new beginnings, it's the new moon. So Gemini new moon could be very significant for you, especially when it comes to coming out of dark night of the soul energy, but also it's almost like reuniting with that second bunny, right? Like making the path even. I do see the clock on the growth, which does speak of divine timing. All right, I'm going to leave that there. Hope that was helpful, Jenna. All right, let me see. Vanessa on Facebook. Vanessa on Facebook, say hi to me in the comments. Thank you, Diana. Lovely moderators came in today to help. Diana, I see Miss L in here earlier. Michelle, always helping on Facebook. Oh, I love it. Thank you, Jenna. All right, Vanessa, let's see. What is the Gemini new moon bringing for Vanessa? Ooh, look at that. So I know we see the balance card, but I'm getting that something's been very unbalanced. This is almost the same energy that I felt with that long night moon card. I should have kept that out and I should explain a little more. Okay, so on this card, and I know that these are your cards, but I'm going to tell you in just a moment. It all loops together. On this card, this is about our dark night of the soul. This is about the path that we have to take, that we have to face when we're in our dark night of the soul. And when we're facing it, it looks so scary and so dark. But as we get closer down this path and this path gets closer to this moon, it's like the moon illuminates that big scary thing that we thought was so scary, and then come to find out it's actually not that scary, right? And that's, you know, dark night of the soul. So what I'm getting here with that balance card is that something has been very imbalanced. With this card, I always say that we think that when this person awakens us, that they're going to go down this path with us and that we're going to do this scary thing together, right? And then we realize, like, no, we all have our own individual paths and I have to take this path by myself. I feel like for you, since this part in your journey, it has been very unbalanced for you. A lot of times you could feel like you're just kind of left out there by God, source, your counterpart, everything to do the things on your own. But I feel like you did them, and you did them in a very capable and strong manner because you have the patience card. And the patience card is about how you were able to wait for something, but without showing God or source that you didn't have it, without saying, like, I can't do this without that, right? So because you did go do it on your own, it's like this is going to be balanced out. It's definitely giving me more like Justice Libra energy. Like, I'm going to balance these scales and I'm going to make this thing right again. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I hope that was helpful. All right, is Victoria last one? Is that right? Yes, Victoria on YouTube. Thank you, Victoria. Hi, Pooja. Pooja, for you, I will definitely wait patiently. So you let me know if you would like a card pull, Pooja. All right. If not, Victoria is going to be our last one tonight. Thank you, everyone who came in and held out. Look at that. I love that card. But yes, guys, thank you for coming in and hanging out with me. It's so direct. It's so clear, right? All right, Victoria, this is you. It says, it's the Queen of the Moon card, right? It's about sovereignty. This is you stepping into your sovereignty. This is very much that collective divine feminine Celtic cross reading that I just did, where we questioned, are we even on this journey? Am I even this powerful? Is source even with me? And it's like now we've moved into this energy where we have confirmation and we know it, right? It's a knowing. When you have that knowing, you step into this energy. The masculine energy is here. Now, I know the masculine energy could be about your divine counterpart, and that could be what you're taking power over, right? Like this person no longer has power over you. That's very possible. But the masculine energy also talks about balancing our emotions, also through the moon phases. So I feel like that's actually what this energy is talking about. I do feel that Spirit's asking you to have faith in this thing that you're creating. And the thing that you're creating is the balance between this divine masculine and this divine feminine. All right, I'm going to leave it right there. Beautiful energy. I hope that was helpful. All right, Pooja says, yeah, sure. All right, Pooja, one card pull. Let's see. Gemini, new moon. What does Spirit want you to know? Have the action card. Pooja, don't wait. It's time to take action now. So Pooja, if you were wondering, do I do this thing? Do I give it a little time? Should I wait a little bit? Spirit's like, no, don't wait. It's also number 15, and that could be some number synchronicity in your journey. All right, Pooja, I'm going to leave it right there. Hope that was helpful. All right, everyone. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming in here, hanging out with me. I appreciate you guys so very much. Don't forget, Sunday night, I'm going to be back. We'll do love and astrology. We'll probably start to look more towards that Capricorn full moon that's coming in at the end of the month. Most likely, that's probably what we're going to talk about on Sunday night. I will do a collective twin flame reading for all of us Sunday night. And of course, I will offer some free and paid mini readings. Tuesday and Thursday is when we're going to do our masculine and our feminine Celtic cross readings. Please come back and join me live. I appreciate all of you guys being here. My moderators, I love you ladies. Thank you very, very much. And I hope to see everyone Sunday evening. Thank you guys. Thank you, Miss L. I love you guys. I'm always, always sending all of you abundant love and light on your journey. Have a good evening, everyone.